Watch this story until the very end, because the final lesson may change the way you use your time forever. Sometimes, life doesn't shout to get your attention. It whispers, then nudges, and finally, it stops you in your tracks. Today's story is about time, not the kind you lose on clocks, but the kind you lose on excuses, and what happened to one woman when life finally tested her priorities. Once upon a time, in a beautiful African city filled with warm sunsets, bustling streets, and vibrant culture, lived a woman named Zola. Zola was 35 years old, graceful, intelligent, respected. Every morning, she stepped out in beautiful African attire, wrapped in rich colors, gold, emerald, royal blue, colors that reflected strength, heritage, and confidence. From the outside, Zola looked successful. She worked hard, she showed up, she handled responsibilities with discipline. But whenever life asked for more care for her health, more time for her family, more attention to her dreams, Zola had one answer: I'm too busy. Too busy to rest. Too busy to check her health. Too busy to start that dream she had carried for years. She believed there would always be time later. Weeks turned into months. Months quietly turned into years. Zola skipped meals, postponed doctor visits, ignored the tiredness in her body. She told herself, after this project, after this deadline, after life slows down. But life never slowed down. One evening, after a long day, Zola sat alone in her room, still dressed in her elegant African attire, but for the first time, it felt heavy. Her body felt tired, her heart felt empty, her dreams felt distant. That night, something happened. Nothing dramatic, no loud moments, just a quiet realization that shook her deeply. She had been busy, but not fulfilled. And that was when life finally tested her. The next morning, Zola tried to get ready for work, but her body refused to cooperate. She sat down. Breathing slowed, strength faded. For the first time in her life, time stopped her. In that still moment, one thought echoed louder than anything else. I always had time. I just gave it to the wrong things. That was the truth she could no longer escape. And right there, Zola made a decision. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Zola began rebuilding her life intentionally. She made time for her health, time for rest, time for the dreams she once postponed. Not because life became easier, but because she finally chose what mattered. She still worked hard. She still wore her beautiful African attire with pride. But now, she carried something more powerful: clarity. Zola learned a lesson that changed her life forever. Time is not found. Time is chosen. And when something truly matters, you don't make excuses. You make time. If this story spoke to you, watch it again. Because every time you listen, you'll hear something new. Ask yourself today, what have you been postponing? What matters, but keeps waiting? Because the truth is simple. If it matters, you will make time, not excuses. If this story inspired you, like the video, subscribe for more stories that awaken greatness. Share this with someone who keeps saying, later. Your future is listening. What will you choose? Time or excuses?